Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela
Hello.
the Oliphant, your host. I am like frozen on my computer, but I think that y'all probably are able to see me and everything. But we're gonna just keep right on talking. I'm gonna see if it
Okay.
will unfreeze for me. Um, I see. Okay, I'm good on here, but I'm not good on my computer. I don't know what is going on. But
Yeah.
anyway, welcome to the show tonight. As you can see, I have a guest on here with me tonight. Tonight um we were going to do the show where we were going to do a live exercise, and we were going to be exercising tonight live on the show, but we had some technical difficulties with that. So tonight Angie is still here on the show with me, and she is going to be answering some of your questions that you may have. So if you have questions, you can put them up on the screen and put them in the comment section, and we will answer those questions. Also, if you have any feedback, because we did the no sugar challenge. So if you participated in that no sugar challenge, then I want you to say something to let us know how it went for you. Let us know how you're feeling today, because we want to get you the chance to answer some of those questions.
I guess we're waiting for Angela to actually come back in. She may have been kicked out, but we're going to wait for her and then we'll resume. We do apologize for any technical difficulties we may be experiencing right now, but she should be in, chiming back in shortly. But until she gets back, we are so excited. Uh, I think this is her. Yeah, I'm so excited about these last 2 weeks and just want to see what, the changes you guys experienced and the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I know it was difficult. So we'll talk about all that. So as soon as she get in and get us on, let us know in which order we're going to talk about it, we'll dive right into it. All I can say is it was serious. Not eating sugar for 2 weeks was kind of serious. So here she is. I'm just sending her a message to tell her, okay, we're waiting. I see she's trying to get in, but can't get through. So
Whew. Okay, we're back. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened, but my computer, it froze me and I kept talking, but I didn't know whether you all could hear me or not. We were going to do the live show tonight, but that did not work. To do the live show, we had some technical difficulties with that, and we're having technical difficulties with this. So it's like I am so glad for y'all, the ones that are sticking in with me on tonight. I'm here with Angie Boy. Angie is a personal trainer. She used to be my personal trainer, and she still works out. She will give you the advice. She'll help you out. Even though she has this full time job now that she's doing, she still has the time to just give you the information and to help you out as far as like with your weight loss journey, as far as like with exercise. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ask her some questions, and we're gonna go ahead and, oh man, we're gonna go ahead and talk to her and just ask her some questions. If you participated in the no sugar challenge, then I want you to put up how it went for you. And I did. And Angie, thank you for continuing to talk for a little bit while I was out, because I was trying to send messages. It wasn't working.
I tried
Oh
to say
man,
something.
thank you so much for being my co-host.
I,
But
uh,
yes, if you participated in the no sugar challenge, I want you to tell us how it was for you, what challenges you had. If you didn't have any challenges, then let us know that. We want to know how everything went for you. And I see that Francina had signed in, and welcome, Francina. Thank you for
yeah.
chiming in, and I hope you're still out there with us. Everybody else, just hang in there. We're gonna keep moving right along, because I don't know why I have never had technical like difficulties on the show, and then we're doing all this technical stuff that we couldn't get done. But tonight's show is still gonna be good.
Yes, it is.
Angie, how did the no sugar challenge go for you? Because you put it out there for us, and I jumped on that wagon too. But how did it go for you?
Well, it went great. The first week went good. Going into the second week, I was sitting at my desk, and like normal, if I got a lot of work in front of me and
Yeah.
I'm just munchy, I have sugar-free candy in my desk. And it was like automatic. I went in my desk and pulled out a chocolate sugar-free candy. And before I remembered, I ate it. And I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be not eating sugar. Even though it was a sugar-free candy in my mind, it was candy. So
Yeah.
I didn't crave it. I didn't crave any sugar. Let me say this first, because I got through the first week. Once you get past might say 3 or 4 days without sugar, your body's just trying to understand that you're not intaking sugar like that anymore. So it wasn't that I wanted the sugar. It was just routine. When I'm sitting
Yeah.
at my desk, I ate a piece of a candy, but after that, I was like, okay, no more of that. I'm glad that was the last piece. I ate the last piece. But far as the way it made me feel internally, I didn't feel bloated. Sugar is just, it does a lot of negative things to your body. So I was trying to pay attention to my body. So I wasn't bloated. I didn't feel like I couldn't get enough of sugar. When you start eating sugar, you're always going to crave sugar. So
Right.
after that one piece of sugar-free candy, I didn't want any more. So the cravings for sugars and sweets was gone. And I actually start noticing that I was losing inches, because I did remember from the challenge, drink more water,
Right.
try to make sure your intake is good. So I start noticing inches by the third, fourth day. Now going into the next week, I started losing pounds. So
Okay. Wow. Yay. For me, the no sugar challenge wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to be absolutely just horrible because I am a sugar person, but I found out during this sugar challenge that I'm not as much of a sugar person as I used to be.
Come on.
So that was like a plus for me.
Yeah.
I did like feel better, like
Mm-hmm.
feeling like lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is good because I didn't have like that heavy feel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. And then I did drop a little bit of weight, which I needed to
Good.
anyway. But I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this worked. This
Yeah.
worked just by cutting out the sugar. And it wasn't like, you cut everything down. But in the midst of this too, I've been on a fast because our church is on a fast. So with the fasting and then the no sugar too and all of that, I was like coupled together. I think that's what helped out a lot. But that no sugar for that first week, we were not on the church fast. So that first week with no sugar, I was like, wow, okay, it turned out pretty good for me. And
Good.
then that first day though that I came back to work from, they had all kind of candy and everything that I like. Everything that I liked was like laid out on this counter. We had this little counter in the back where we put the snacks, and everybody brought in snacks and they brought chocolate. They normally won't bring chocolate, but this time everybody brought chocolate. I love chocolate. So it was like all kinds of chocolate on that back counter. So I stayed in my office.
Good for you. Please.
I said, I can't go back there with that chocolate because I was like, they brought dark chocolate and I love it. And I was like, no sugar. Even though dark chocolate is not horrible, I was like, there's no sugar.
No sugar.
So I did pretty good.
Good.
Um,
So let me ask you a question really quick. So
yeah,
did you substitute uh like if you wanted to have something, not saying that you craved it, but did you eat more fruit? Were you
I
just
was
saying
eating, I did eat, well, I was only eating like a banana. I
okay.
ate like a banana if I wanted something like sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was drinking my water,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't even have any other fruits or anything. I
Okay.
did have some bananas at home, so I was like, oh, I can have this banana,
Mm-hmm. And it
and
was
do that.
fulfilling. It
It
fulfilled you.
was.
Good.
It was. It's like I didn't crave it like I thought that I was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I would be like, oh man, I thought that I would fall out because I didn't have my chocolate. But I didn't. I was like, hey, I can just eat. I ate that banana and I was good. But I see where Francina put in. She said that she decided on January 2nd that she was not going to eat any snacks or sugar.
Mm.
She took it out of the house.
Mm.
And she said she has to say that that eating serving size of sherbet every other day, and she has not craved sugar or snacks.
Good
That's
for her.
good, Francine.
Absolutely. Good for
And she
you.
has lost a few pounds.
Good for her.
She said, "That's great,
Yeah,
yay, Francine!"
right. Yeah, we look here. We congratulate. We cheer every small effort, and because
Yeah,
it can be hard for some people. But I will say this: I using fruit for extra fillers, it kind of kept you full. So even if somebody wanted something sweet, if you ate fruit, it would fill you. It would kind of quench that taste for something sweet, that craving. So
yeah. I was like, okay, well, that worked out really good, and that congratulations, Francina,
yay, Francina.
because it's good because I know Francina had surgery, so
Hmm.
she's not able to get out to go walking like she normally would. She normally posts up her walks and all that, and she goes out and walks, and she hadn't been able to do that, but she took all the snacks out, and that's some of what I did too. I took all that stuff out the house because I was like, if it's in here, I'm gonna eat it. So I made sure that it was out the house. So, because even when my sister came over for the weekend, I was like, oh, y'all need to bring y'all some snacks and stuff because I
Don't have
didn't put no candy, no all that. It's not in here. So, and the kids are looking at me crazy because they usually can get something when they come, but I was like, no, ma'am, I don't have it this time.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
So before you knew the challenge was that Tuesday, did you kind of like get that eat you ate enough sweets to get it out of your system
I didn't.
before
That
then?
surprised me. That surprised me because usually I'll be like, I'm gonna get this sugar in because I know the next day I'm not gonna have it. And I did some of the stuff that I did have here. Did I have something? It was something that I had that I was like, oh, I can have this today because it's gonna start tomorrow. But it wasn't like, oh, let me get all this in that I can before the sugar challenge starts.
Yeah.
So
I
that
thought I wanted to do that. I thought I did. I think I ate something like one or two things leading up to it, but I think the day before, the 2 days before, I was like, you know what? I really don't want it. So I
right,
kind of like got myself together two
yeah.
days before it started. So
And that is great. Now tonight we, like I said, guys, we were supposed to do our exercise class, and it was going to be a live exercise class that we were going to do tonight, and we're going to plan it for later, and we're still going to bring it to you. But
yes.
tonight, we're just gonna. If you have some questions about exercise and things that you can do, and we want to talk about different exercises that maybe you're not mobile enough to do certain things like get outside and walk or get outside and do a run or something. So we're going to talk about some different exercises that you can do in the comfort of your own home,
Hmm.
and you don't need all this equipment that you might have at the gym, but it's stuff that you can do still at home to keep yourself on track, because that's what we want to do after this no sugar challenge. We don't want to go back to eating all the sugar that
Oh
we
no.
want, because your body's not going to want it, for
Nope.
one. So if you keep putting it in, it's going to get to the point where it will tolerate it, and you'll
Hmm.
get back to the point where you were before you started, and that's what we don't want. We want you to continue on your journey,
Hmm.
and you can add sweets back here and there. It's just don't overindulge in the sweets. But Angie, how would they for somebody that may have mobile issues and they need their mobility is not like it used to be, and they still want to exercise to tone and to strengthen, what are some things that they could do?
At home.
Yes, at home.
Okay, so I would say chair aerobics at home is very good. If you have some 2 pound dumbbells, some 5 pound dumbbells, you can actually do some chair aerobics at home. How do you find chair aerobics? You can Google it and then just come up with your own little fitness plan, how you're going to, start. But I've taught chair aerobics for years and it's very beneficial. A lot of people, feel like, well, I'm not getting adequate exercises by being in a chair. But if you are having deficiencies with mobility, it's safe and it's easy. So find something on chair aerobics or chair fitness and go with that.
Great. And Francina says that she has chair 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 exercises that she
Hmm.
does. So
Good.
that's great too, that it keeps up your movement.
Hmm.
It's all about moving
Hmm.
and not just letting those muscles just kind of sit.
Right.
Um, what about with, I heard, well, when we were on the last time, a lot of people were talking about strengthening
Hmm.
exercises and toning exercises. And those are two things that they can do at home as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then they can find videos on the toning. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
are very good, but just make sure anytime you start any fitness regimen and you have limitations, please talk to your doctor about what you have decided to do and ask them for input because a lot of doctors, they're doctors, so they kind of know, you and they know your limitations, and you don't want to push yourself too hard, but you could ask your doctor once you get that green light from your doctor. Start doing something. You can Google chair aerobics or any type of low impact exercises.
okay. And you said low impact. Can you explain that to the listeners, those who are listening on tonight, what low impact exercises are?
Sure. So low impact exercises are something that's not too strenuous. Like you can modify, like if you're doing jumping jacks, that may be, extreme. But what you can do is raise both arms above your head at the same time and step one foot out to the side, one at a time. So you're still doing the motion of a jumping jack, but it's low impact. When it has something like running in place or jogging in place, you can march in place as long as your knees are coming up
Mhm.
towards your waist, you're getting your knees up, it's increasing your heart rate and you're swinging those arms. So instead of like I said, running in place, you're actually marching in place. So you're modifying exercises that may be too much, maybe too much on your body, on your extremities.
Okay. And then I've seen where some people have like the and I don't even know the right name, but it's the band that you have where you can pull that band to
Mhm.
do exercises. Is that a good thing for
Yes.
someone?
Yeah, they're called resistance bands, and they come in different colors. So the colors identifies the level of it. Like you might have a one that says heavy, where it's harder to pull. So pay attention to those resistant bands when you purchase them, because some of them are like for like people who are very strong. Then you have the medium and the light, but those are very good. I know a lot of people when they have in therapy, they'll give them to them to put under their foot, and then you can pull it back and forth with your arms. That's a form of strength training with those. So I really encourage those. If you're doing some type of low impact exercise, or you are you're not able to use the dumbbells, you can actually wrap that around your hand and pull it. So yeah, good idea.
Resistant bands. Yay. I know I had I gave my mom one and it
Hmm.
has the handles on the end
Hmm.
so she can put it in and just sit while she's maybe like watching TV and just
Hmm.
move with it. And that's always good. What would you say to someone as far as like with their eating? Because I know we do the exercise and
Hmm.
we want to keep our mobility up and we want to tone and we want to strengthen, but eating plays a big part in that too. So how would their eating have to be?
Okay, so just as exercising helps you lose weight, eating is a big, is probably the biggest factor, because you can lose weight without exercising, but it's hard to lose weight exercising and not eating right. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you really need to eat right. And I can honestly say my years of being a personal trainer, when I first get a client, the first 3 months they're kind of like in and out. They're dabbling with you know, cookies and, chips and
yeah.
burgers. They dabbling. They coming to work out because in their mind, I got to get this weight off of me. But the change happens when the diet change.
Mm.
When you change that diet, I mean, and then they end up losing weight the fourth month, it just drops off because it could have been did it the first 3 months.
If they had to just
Change
change
their
their
diet.
eating.
So I just want you to look at it like that. You really have to change your diet. You really have to find a meal plan that works for you because everybody's different.
Right.
I can tell you something, but I may not be a diabetic. I may not be a heart patient, so I can tell you things, but you have to find out what works for you. You have some meal plans that says that you need to eat 3 times a day and you may snack in between. And there's some that says, I need you to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and try not to snack in between because your doctor will tell you how many calories to eat a day. If
Yeah.
you communicate with them and get a good nutritionist, they'll put you on a diet and tell you what not to eat. But once you get that mastered, that you really have to eat right, substitute those sodas and sugary drinks with water. Concentrate on eating green, like colorful vegetables and lean meat, baked, broiled, or stewed. I know it's Friday, and I know a lot of y'all want that fried fish. Everybody say, everybody eat fried fish on Fridays, but no, you got to resist fried fish and eat it baked. Okay, so diet plays a bigger role to me than exercise. Exercise is great, but
Right.
to get that weight off of you, you really need to change the way you eat.
Okay. Francina was saying she asked that question, but you answered it before. Because she was asking what's a balanced meal that would help with weight loss, and
Hmm.
then she said good types of vegetables.
Hmm.
Because she said she don't want a diet, she want to make it a lifestyle.
Absolutely. So try to look up superfood. Find some vegetables that are in the superfood family. And those are the real, like kale and, those green, robust colors. Those types of vegetables are really good. And depends on how you match it with your meals. It really just like it's an effortless weight loss when you pair your food right.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, because I know when I went to a nutritionist and
Hmm.
talked to her, and she told me how many calories I needed for the day,
Hmm.
and then she was telling me as far as like how she gave me a sheet showing me how to pair things up together.
Hmm.
So if I did a snack of, let's say, broccoli, like raw broccoli, she showed me what I could eat with that.
Hmm.
That's gonna balance it out where I wouldn't get hungry.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, see, that's where we go wrong. We're not eating enough food to give us the energy, the fuel we need. So you're hungry, and when you're hungry, you're gonna eat. It doesn't matter if you're gonna eat chips because in your mind, I have to eat. But if you're pairing your food to with the right group, it will give you the fuel and the energy not to be hungry. Like your protein, that needs to be a certain amount of protein you're supposed to take in with every meal. So you definitely need to pair your food right.
Yeah, because I know, like I had told you before, I was like, I eat apples and I am hungry. I get seriously hungry when I eat apples, and I don't know why. Because my sister, she was like, an apple is her snack, so she
Hmm.
eat an apple and she's good.
Hmm.
But I eat an apple and it's like, I don't know. It's like I've not eaten like in 2 days or something. I'm just hungry after I eat the apple. So I had to start. I was like, okay, if I'm going to eat this apple, maybe I'm going to eat the apple slices and put some peanut butter with it.
Peanut butter. There you go.
And then that way it will balance it out for me. Because
Hmm.
with me, I couldn't just do the apple by itself because I would just get hungry. And I don't know why. I guess it
Hmm.
the way that it is with my body,
Hmm.
I would just get hungry. And I was like, okay, now I want something else to eat.
Yeah, it's a starter, an appetizer.
Yes. Because like that day that I met you in the store, and I was like, I'm hungry. And you were telling me you got to eat some
Need
protein.
some protein. Yes.
So we got to balance that out. And
Right.
like you said, know our bodies. And your
Right.
doctor will, because I talked to my doctor when I went, and I was like, this is what I'm doing. Is it okay for me to do this type of exercise? Is it good for me to just go ahead and continue to do this? He even gave me a cookbook with the DASH diet,
Hmm.
which is basically for some. It's basically what we've just been talking about. Is eating your vegetables, eating
Hmm.
those vegetables that you were talking about, and lean meats and stuff,
Hmm.
and watching my portions. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's like you have the information, but you got to apply it.
Right. And I want to piggyback on portion size. Okay. So let me give you a quick hint, a quick tip. I won't say a hint. If you're going out to eat, let's say you need to find out what food is friendly for your diet. What restaurant is caters to people that are trying to change their eating habit. So if you go eat Italian, stay away from the creamy and do like the red sauce. That's more healthier than the thick creamy sauce. And try to eat half of it. Like soon as you order it, you need to already half it up and get it out of your face. Ask them for a to go box immediately. Half that up and eat the rest tomorrow. I did it. It works, and I was so impressed. I was like, okay, normally I wouldn't have needed a to go box
Right.
because I was going to fit it. I finished all of that. But since I was on the no sugar, and already my body was like being trained
Yeah,
to resist a lot of things, so why not try this? So I tried to half the plate up, and which I did, and I ate the food the next day. So make sure you're paying attention to your portion size, because still you may be eating all the right foods, but you're eating too much.
yeah,
Even with a not a baked potato, a sweet potato, cut that potato in half. Train your body, shrink that stomach by eating
yeah,
smaller portions. So
yeah.
it will work.
Because I noticed that, like, when I went to the nutritionist, I was telling her everything that I was eating, and she was like, "You're not eating bad.
Mm-hmm.
You need to watch your portion
Portions.
control
Yeah.
and do your portions." Because she said you're not eating bad at all, and I
Right.
was like, "Okay." And Francina had a question. She wanted to know, is nuts a good snack, and what's like a serving amount for nuts, if nuts are
They
like.
are, but a handful. I don't know who can eat a handful of nuts and be satisfied. I can't. So I'm gonna stay away from the nuts, okay? Because I'm gonna go nuts on the nuts. So
Yeah,
don't. If you can eat a handful of nuts and it satisfies you, then that's sufficient. But once you start going back and forth in those nuts, then you make it. You're overeating. You're making a good thing bad.
yeah. It's like that portion control thing, because I have to get it like up here. That, okay, this is good for me.
Yeah. But you
And
see, some people they'll pair their nuts with cheese.
yeah,
So if you're gonna eat you want to do a handful of nuts, do half of the handful of nuts and then add some cheese with it. So you won't overeat, you won't just go nuts.
yeah. She said that she does a serving size. So, Francina, do you have like the little serving size packets that you eat it from, or
That's
are you just going by the serving size that you see on the package? Because I with a serving size
it's
would
not that
be like
much.
about a handful.
It's not that much. And a palm full, I don't even want to say a handful.
Yeah, like a palm, like in the middle of your hand,
Right,
palm full.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Sam sell the big bag and they're already pre-packaged. And if you pour that in your hand, it's just going to fill your palm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because I know, even like you were saying, they pair it with cheese. That was on
Mm-hmm.
my list. Like, if you have that cheese, like as like a thing of string cheese, that one
Mm-hmm.
little thing, then eat some nuts with it,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll kind of balance you out, so you're not hungry again
Right.
in a few minutes. Yeah. Because I was like, ah. But she said she measure what the package is, and she used a measuring tool. So she used
Okay.
the measuring tools to measure
Yeah.
hers out.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it is
good.
a good snack.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you need to measure it out like you're doing, Francina, because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, well, if you're like us, you'll be done ate that whole thing of nuts and be like, I had nuts.
You had too many. Yeah. It's
We're
it's
not saying eat the whole jar. It's
hard.
like the whole big thing
Yeah.
container of that. So yeah, and that it's a mind thing, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because we're so used to like overeating.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are introduced to eating the correct portion size, it's like it plays with your head, because you feel like, well, that's not enough food for me, when really it is.
It really is. It really is. We have been trained as children to eat everything on your plate.
Yes.
And a lot of us are still stuck in that mindset. And I started paying attention to it and I was like, I only have a little bit more to go. And I was so full and I would still eat it because I didn't want to throw anything away, but I didn't think about it. Just go back later and eat it. And that's
Yeah.
what I do now. I eat until I know I'm full, and then I'll put it up. And it may be an hour or two later, I'll go back and eat it.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
not in one setting.
Yeah, it's not like you're just trying to stuff it in
Right.
because it's there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, because I was looking, and I don't even remember where I saw it. I think it was on a show that was on some years ago, but they were showing the portion sizes like from the like 1960s and
Yeah. Okay,
1950s
now.
to now. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because the portion size of pizza was basically like your hand, maybe.
Hmm.
That was the slice, that was the serving size, that was it. But now you put both of your hands together and maybe a little bit more, and that's the serving size that they give you now.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my goodness.
We
So
just
it's like it has gone up because people supersizing everything and they want more of it. And they
supply and demand. We demand bigger slices.
yes, it's like they're bigger slices of pizza, bigger plates of food.
Yeah.
When they bring your food out, and you were right, because that's what I had started doing a while ago, is that when I would go to a restaurant, can I have a to go plate? And they would look at me crazy, but I was like, I gotta have this up because if
Gotta
I
have
don't, I'm going to eat
eat it
everything.
on your plate.
Yes.
That's it.
And it's
That's
gonna be
it.
gone, and I could be like full and miserable when I leave
Yep.
up out of here. I'm
It's
gonna
a
eat this
mind
food.
thing. It's
Yeah,
a mind thing. We've been trained to eat everything on your plate. So it's good to just go ahead and have that plate and get it off your plate. Get the food
yes,
off.
yes. Because then you can save it, like you said, for later, and then you can go back and eat it later. You don't have to eat all of it in one setting.
Right.
And Francina was saying that she tried not to eat no later than about 7:30 if possible, if it
Okay.
works out that way. So, and that's one thing that I began to watch myself too, because late at night I would get to like snacking
Mm.
and eating, and I was like, you can't do this. You get ready to go to bed. You got to stop eating at a certain point so that your body already done digested all of that, and when you lay down, you're not laying down on all that food that you just ate just because you're sitting up, not because you're hungry, but because you're sitting up watching TV or doing something, and you're just snacking and eating and snacking. And, oh, I think I get a little bit more of that, or I get, and then you put on the weight that way.
Hmm. Well, I'll piggyback off what you said about letting your body rest. When you stop eating, like I can't tell you what time to stop eating, but once you're finished with dinner for the night, that needs to be it. It gives your intestines a time to rest. So when you get up in the morning, it'll be an effortless go, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
If you stop eating at a certain time that it's not too late, like for me, the latest is 8, but I try to eat at 7 o'clock. That's
Okay.
my last meal at 7 o'clock. I might be finishing up around 7:20. After that, I don't eat anymore until the next day. But if you feel like you want to have something, make some tea, make some herbal tea, some green tea. Sip on some tea, and you'll be satisfied with it. But you have to train your mind to be
Right.
satisfied with it.
Yeah. And that's a major thing, is to train your brain.
Hmm.
That's what we're gonna do.
Be satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you won't be reaching back for that extra and pulling that extra in.
Yes. I do have
That
a question.
so what now?
I have a question. I wanted to know if anybody with this challenge felt more compelled to exercise more.
Mm, I know, like with me, I was trying to get my exercise in. Some of
Hmm.
the days I didn't make it, and I was like, I
Hmm.
have got to make an effort
Hmm.
to do that exercise. Because some days it's like I didn't realize how much I would be trying to do, and we want to do for other people.
All right.
And then I was like, okay, you got to take care of yourself,
Hmm.
and then you can go do this other stuff, because I was running around and I didn't even realize how much until we started it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to exercise in the afternoon when I get home. And then in the afternoons I was doing so much for so many others that I was like, oh, what am I doing?
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, you got to regroup on this, because you got to take care of you first, and then
Hmm.
you'll be able to take care of this other stuff. But you got to work. You
Hmm.
got to work harder at my exercise and taking
Hmm.
that time for myself. Nobody's like saying anything right now. Francina didn't say anything, but for me, I was like, I just need to get my mindset for my exercise
Mm-hmm.
because at one point I was on it and I was doing it, and then for some reason now it's like hard to get back, and I desire to do it. I really, it's like
Yes.
in my heart, I want to do it. I was like, because I feel so good when I exercise,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm able to go out and walk, or I'm able to go out and jump, do some jump rope, or even just doing like a video at home. I feel good when I'm finished, but stepping out and getting it done is a challenge for
Mm.
me. It's a
Okay.
challenge for me. Francina says she has to get back on track doing her exercises at home. She
Okay.
said she got to get back
So
on track with that. She
so
well
I'll
she
give a
did
suggestion on
surgery
her.
and stuff too. So you
Mhm.
said what
She did say
now?
that again.
I said she
Say
did
that
have
again.
surgery and stuff too.
Oh, okay then. Well, I would just suggest for Francina to plan a day and plan a time and stick to it. Like today's Friday, so she can say next week I'm going to exercise Monday at 4 o'clock p.m. And
Yeah.
that's going to be your gym time, and that's going to be the time that you're going to go and exercise at home. You know, doing what
And
you need to
doing what
do.
she can do right
But
now.
try to do at least 30 minutes. If you can't get 30 minutes in, do about 20 minutes of exercising. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to do this again on Wednesday. So you kind of do 2 days until you can build yourself up to 3 days, 4 days, and 5 days. Because in all actuality, we need to be exercising at least 5 days a week, everybody. It used to be 4 days a week for 30 minutes or something like that. But now, you can exercise 5 days a week really good for 30 minutes or 45 minutes to an hour. Just, listen to your body. But we really need to be exercising 5 days.
Yeah. And that's my goal, is to set that up. She was saying that she really want to walk, but her body's not ready to walk yet, with after she had her surgery.
Hmm.
And she does her therapy and stuff too. But yeah, do what you can do,
Yeah,
Francina,
you do.
at home.
Hmm.
And I know you want to get back out there and walk, because Francina would be walking. She
Yeah.
would be walking. She's a cancer survivor too. Yay!
Yay! Yeah.
But she would post up her walks and stuff, and on some days that would be encouragement to me. I was like, okay, Francine is out here walking. I need to get out there and walk or do some exercise when I
Yeah.
get home.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, do the exercises that you can do at home until your body
Yes.
heals and then ready to get back out there and walk like you were walking. And I'll be looking for you on Facebook, Francina, because I would see her post up her walks and stuff, and it's awesome to see. And I read something this morning. Oh, and we out of town. I'm sitting here talking to you. But anyway, I read something this morning where someone went out and they exercised. They were saying they didn't want to, they
Hmm.
didn't feel like it,
Hmm.
but they pushed themselves anyway and said, you know what, you're gonna get out here and do it. And they did, and felt
Good.
better when they were finished.
Good job.
That's what we need to do. We need to deal with this up here, get out there, exercise, and do what we're going to do. Because if you deal with your mind is like one of the major things. Once you get your mind in check, your body will fall in line, the weight will come off, because you got to think right about eating and think right about exercise.
Beautiful.
Ha! You got
Beautiful.
anything else as we close out? Because we went over our time.
Yes, with all that great tip you just gave us, I will say this too: be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
kind to say sweet things to yourself,
Yes.
encourage yourself, be proud of yourself.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. See, guys, we had a great show anyway with all the technical difficulties. But I am Angela D. Oliphant. I'm allowing you to see, to hear, and to know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It's most definitely your journey. Just join in the journey with us and know that you are already whole. You are already beautiful. So keep moving and keep pressing towards your goals. Until we meet again next week at 7 p.m. I will talk to you all then. Love you much. Y'all have a great and productive weekend. Get out there, exercise a little bit.
Yay.
Good night, guys. Love you
Good night.
much.